Alright, here's the game plan. We're gonna go clear some brush out from along this creek bed and see if we can't clean up some of that debris that's along through there. So we can level things up a little bit. You might be able to see back behind the barn there, and you may not be able to tell, but I actually mowed down in there a little deeper than we have been the other day. And over here I cleared out some of that timber to where I could actually mow all the way around the outside of the barn there. And we're just going to do the same thing along this creek bed here. Just because it's growed up, and it's one of those things where it just kept growing and people kept mowing further and further and further away from the edge. So even though it looks like that's the actual creek's bank, there's like 10 or 15 feet there before you actually get to the creek's edge. So we're going to see if we can clean that up today a little bit. So yeah. Somebody actually commented the other day that I haven't done any footage of the actual barn. Well, let me show you what's going on in here real quick. We actually have an uninvited guest in here too. I may have told you about that before. And you can see it's just stuff everywhere. Got the three-wheeler, the four-wheeler, the go-kart, the other four-wheeler back there, firewood, pallets and pallets of parts, my mobile cutting station, as old Brat Ryder called it. I need to unload that so I can use it today. But here's where my unwanted guest comes into play. I think you can see that a little bit. I filled that hole up every time I've been out here for the last 4 or 5 times. There was actually 3 of them. There was take it off the tripod. There was a hole here. There was a hole here. And there was a hole over there beside those blocks. And there's the hole. Something keeps tunneling in from outside. I think it's a groundhog. My neighbor said they've seen it from sitting in their backyard. I guess they can see it wandering around out here beside the barn at different times. One day we came out here and Jay said that it had grabbed one of those blue tarps and tried to drag it down in the hole, and he pulled it back out of there. So obviously just filling it up isn't helping me out, because he just digs it back out. It's pretty funny though. I was gonna till the whole thing up and then pack it back down, but I figured I'd just make it easier for him to tunnel through. So I don't know. I guess trapping the little rascal might be an answer. I don't want it to get so hollowed out here that I pull a machine in here someday and the floor collapses, and I get stuck or something. All right. Anyway, enough of that. I'm gonna clean this thing off and get to work. Okay, let's walk over here by the creek real quick before I do that. Just to give you an idea what I'm talking about. See, there's this kind of brush laying here. I can't mow behind this because of this big old tree limb. And in this brush, there's all kinds of fallen limbs. See, like here. And it actually goes over to the creek's edge, which just doesn't hurt anything. Here's where I was telling you I mowed down around there the other day a little bit. I avoided that little evergreen or whatever it is right there. And there's actually some poison ivy around in here too, and I want to be watching for snakes. But yeah, I just want to clean this up a little bit. I want to get these These dead tree limbs all moved. And it's weird, like this one right here. See how it's just hanging there? It's caught up in there. Like it's fell and got caught. But it also looks like there's been real high water at one point in time or something. Anyway, yeah. Alright, I gotta get to work. So you get the idea. I think you can see over here just how far out this comes. It's just like, you know, we just kept mowing further and further away because we didn't want to pick up these limbs. I'm zoomed all the way back out. You might not be able to mow behind these trees, but you can mow up to them, you know what I mean? And they make a relatively nice line down through there. It should look better when we're done. We'll see. Well, there's one load, and that's just from picking stuff up that was laying in the brush there. You can see it, it's pretty healthy looking. And around here behind, got Jay over there mowing into it. We'll see how good he does. It's just a preliminary clearing. Now I think he's up here farther than I actually have picked up yet, so there's no telling what kind of crap he'll get into. Anyway, that's what we're doing. We'll have a look at the whole thing when we get done. Alright, here's stage one, or stage two I guess it would be, after we've picked up most of the dry brush and mowed in there a little bit. Now right where you're seeing over in this area, I did take the weed eater to it a little bit. I stopped long enough to get this footage. You can see it looks better already. Alright, so it's a few hours later, and you probably can't tell I did anything unless I show you a before and after shot. Sure feels like I did a lot. So yeah, we all know how that is. There, it's a little more level. There's actually still a lot of foliage there. And there's also a lot of little dead volunteer trees that need to be cut off better. Because between the lawnmower, brush hogging them, and me using the weed eater with the weed warrior attachment, it kind of just boogers them up, you know. It doesn't really cut them off close to the ground or clean. But yeah. And I don't want the backside, the other side of the creek, to be super clean, because I like seeing the green foliage. I don't know why that was bugging me, but it was. Anyway, I think it looks better, and I'll know more in a day or two after it grows on me. So, yay. over here at my buddy's house, and he got this sawmill from his dad's farm. He was telling me about it. Wow, that's a big old blade. You'll have a fun time getting that off of there. Huh. Looks like it had a wooden pulley on it. It's been on fire. Huh. Interesting. He probably won't show up.